All right, welcome to this week's Deal Structure Sunday. Myself, and Mike Thompson from Indiana are going to mix this up a bit. Mike's a high six associate and a certified coach, has done all kinds of creative deals. So he has a deal we were going to talk about, and I said, let's talk about it live and let you guys listen in. So honestly, I don't know how many nuggets you're going to get out of this. I'm sure a bunch, but we're just going to look at a deal. It's not a deal yet, and you guys get to see what goes on in our brain. So Mike, you can start us off, buddy. Thanks for coming on again.
Appreciate it.
What do we have? Just give me started so we can have a discussion. I'll take some notes so I can follow you.
Yeah. So this is a pre-foreclosure lead.
Okay.
This was someone that's behind in their mortgage. They have a lot of challenges from a marriage standpoint that caused them to be behind in their mortgage. Right. So yeah, that's where he's at. He wants to sell. He doesn't want to make anything on the property. Right. So I'm buying it for the mortgage amount basically. But we're trying to buy this sub 2.
Okay. So I have a few questions, and this is good because I know nothing about this, and we're just doing this on the fly. So for the viewer to know, I'm going to treat this just like as if Mike and I were in a coaching session anyway, and just ask questions. So Mike, you said pre-foreclosure lead. I know we recently took on a new service for pre-foreclosure. How'd you find that? Do you guys have a service for it? How'd you get your pre-foreclosure lead?
Yeah. We two different ways. This one came from PropStream actually. So
Sweet.
we use PropStream, and then also I think he doubled up on the list for late mortgage pay list. We got a list for late mortgage pays.
Okay, so you got like a double. He showed up twice. For those listening, if we talk about a resource like PropStream, they're all on our website. Go to smartrealestatecoach.com and look on our investor resources. We throw up our key resources there for you. So thanks for that share. Mike? Who's on the they're getting divorced, you said, right?
Yeah. They're not divorced yet. Indiana is not a common law thing. Like, we don't have dower rights, so you can own a property by yourself, and technically the wife, if they're not on title, or the other partner doesn't have ownership of any kind.
So who's on this title and who's on the loan?
So he's on the loan and he's on title only. The husband is.
So you basically, in this case, just dealing with him.
Just dealing with him, even though for him, it's important to talk to her for whatever reason. So we talk about,
maybe it's amicable.
It could be, yeah. It's not that, but he's, to get into personal business of people, he's still in love with her, I think, in some way, and he wants to run a buyer. So that's when she's another person that we have to potentially talk to make it okay, right?
Yeah, especially if he cares. Correct. Yeah.
Right.
Okay, so I got the pre-foreclosure. That was the source. This is something I forgot to ask in a lot of calls. How long from when you saw or got the lead till today?
Yeah, that was really quick, actually. So you want me to give you dates? Is that fine for this?
Yeah, or ballpark. Yeah. Hey, 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
So we originally talked to him on the 11th of the month, and here we are on the 22nd of them, or 24th.
Oh, wow. So really quick. You probably as fast as you can get to your leads. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I have that context. I get the context of why. What do the numbers look like? Let's do some math.
Yeah. So it gets a little wonky here, but we've got some general ideas. He thought he owed around $105,000 on the property. Well, first off, let me tell you, the home fixed up is worth around $225,000. Okay?
Does it need any work, or are we going to get there?
Yes, it does need work. I would say the as-is value is probably $185 currently.
Okay, so not too bad.
Not too bad. I just knowing what the market will bring now, even in a property that needs work, probably about $185,000.
Yeah, and I just, again, for context, and you can tell me if this is the case here, when we're putting something out on terms, when I'm talking to a seller, I just want to know, is the thing habitable? Like, and I'm sure this one is. It sounds like, because they're there.
Yep.
Yeah,
it's a habitable property. It's doable.
Okay.
Yep.
So and what's owed?
So he said originally he thought he owed like 105, but there was a loan modification done. The bank says right now they're owed 100,000, right even.
Okay.
100,000.
Nice round number. We can use that for this discussion.
Yep.
All right. So tell me, because I don't want to probe too deep without knowing what's in your head. What are you thinking now with those numbers?
So I was originally thinking sub 2, right? Because I could see some of the liens that were being sued by the mortgage company. So I know there's some out there. I'm thinking, okay, if we can get those numbers, then we can maybe buy this sub two. And by the way, you can buy a house sub to any lien. It's not just mortgage. It could be an attached credit card debt. It could be, there's a lot of different things. It could be a sewer lien, whatever the liens are, you can still buy the property subject to those liens.
What were
and
the
that's what I
liens?
was thinking.
Let's throw that out just to muddy the waters a bit.
Yeah, let's do it. So we have a lien on it. So, and this is where it gets creative, Chris. Indiana has this product where they'll bring people's mortgages current. Okay. They'll give them money to bring their mortgage current. And as long as they live in that house for a certain amount of time, that debt will be forgiven.
Wow.
Okay. So after year 3, you get like 50% you have to pay back if you sell it. Year 5, it's 20%. And like year 8, 0%. So if I keep this property,
that's for owner occupied.
Well, so no, like buying it subject to, we know that there's a chance they will call those loans due, but typically they do not.
Of course. I
agree. If I hold that property 5 to 8 years, I will not have to pay that money back.
Wow. So the lien of how much?
30,000. It's
30K is found money.
Yep.
30K. All right. Sweet. 30,000 is part of the 100.
So no, it's not. It's outside of the 100. So now you're looking at about 130 if you were to sell that property.
Okay, but I see why you're saying 100 because that's in your brain. You're going to go past that point and get.
If I can, yeah. Like if I can come up with long-term strategy for it, I won't have to worry about that 30,000.
Okay, love it. So, all right, what else? So you get the liens, you get the mortgage. How are you thinking you might exit this? Because I have 2 ideas. But what are you thinking?
Well, real quick though, there is also another $4,000 lien in credit card debt.
Talk about motivation.
That can also be negotiated at a later date.
Yeah, then let me just share my experience from the crash, and I think I had a full-time job of negotiating with vendors chasing me. I got all of them for 10 to 25 cents because they're just robots calling you. And my wife says, why don't you like write a book or something about that? Because I did it by need, but now in hindsight, I can help people do that. So are you thinking about that? Like maybe you'll get away from $1,000 or so on that?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm thinking that that'll be significantly lowered when we go to negotiate that at a future date.
I'm the seller's friend. I'm trying to bail him out. If not, he's going to file bankruptcy. You're going to get nothing. I'm just giving you one script, right?
Yeah.
That's what I used to tell people. Well, okay, I'll just file then. All right, let you talk to my supervisor. It's real quick change. Yeah, I love it. So you might have what are you going to figure there conservatively for a cost?
For the credit card debt?
Yeah.
2,000.
Yeah, that's what
I think 2,000's due.
Yep. Instead of 1, you might get 1. All right. So you're probably in this thing for 102 because the 30 is going to go away. Is that what you're thinking? Plus closing costs?
Yeah. I mean, if I can keep this long enough, I can make that 30 go away. If we can structure that tenant buyer or whatever we do long term.
But even if you didn't, this is a deal.
Yeah. It's a deal.
So how are you thinking on the exit? What are you thinking?
Well, I got a couple of thoughts in my mind. One, I could flip it. Right. If you're into that sort of thing, I could flip it. I can come in there and do the work and then sell it for the 225.
Yep.
I could sell it on a lease purchase with, kind of a handyman special.
Yeah. 100%.
In a great neighborhood, in a great school district.
Yep.
So especially for the area, it's like one of the better ones for Indianapolis. This property is actually in Indianapolis, Indiana. So, I got a couple of options there as far as what to do. And it really just comes down to the price, which we haven't even talked about that monthly payment.
What would you go out at? Would you go out at the 2 something, the 2.25?
I don't know if I would.
You want to leave some on the table, sort of?
I just want to make sure that whoever buys the property has the ability to do the repairs necessary, right? Yeah. It's a juggling act of what they can put down versus what they can put on towards the repairs.
And your comfort level, right? Like I always say, my son Nick and Sue, who runs ours, I'll say, well, do you feel comfortable they can actually do it? I know they can, but can they, like, what's their experience? Yeah. You don't want to set them up to fail. So
I think conservatively, I could put this at 185 and be happy. Right. And as is price, potentially. So
that's definitely not getting greedy. That's
not getting greedy, but maybe, 199 would be a good little ticker mark to to sell it at.
I think so. I think if you put your buyer hat on for 10 minutes later and you go online as a buyer and go, what's available for under 2, you're probably going to find squat, and that you might be very good.
Yep.
Yeah.
Especially this much square footage. Yep.
So just you and I tinkering around. I'm just going to play with it. You got 185. You got about 80 grand, let's just call it, if you hold this thing, and just in the markup, you got some principal pay down. It's another 6-figure deal.
Yeah, this one is for sure.
For a house, and I say another, sorry for context for the viewers, Mike and I did another deal structure video you're probably going to want to catch on a sub 2 deal. Well, it's a creative deal to say the least, and it was almost 6 figures. So I'm not telling you guys that you're going to run into this all the time, but I am telling you, once you understand the creative space like Mike has so well, and you get to work with our coaches, Mike being one of them, you'll put yourself in a position to fall into these because you'll talk to enough people. Mike, would you say that's accurate?
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, just having those conversations daily is you're gonna get these.
Yep. And let me say this, because this is like, I want you, the Wicked Smart viewers, to be able to come hang out with Mike and I and the other coaches. And we offer that for free. I don't know if you understand that, because there's so many people out there that market, the great marketers in the real estate space, they market courses and you buy it because they're good marketers. And then you're on your own. We have a weekly Wicked Smart sit down because we want you to be in our course. Yes, it's fairly inexpensive, but then we want you to be able to come every week, 4:00 on Thursday, to the Wicked Smart sit down and ask questions about the modules, ask questions about the deals, ask questions about this video or other videos you see on this YouTube here, because there's about 150 deals here. And you'll get real good by doing that. So it's free for you. You just got to execute. Mike, what am I missing? Anything else in this deal?
We are reinstatement. We forgot about the reinstatement because he's not paying his mortgage, right? So to reinstate this loan, we like 12,000. So we went from 102 to it's okay, to 114.
114K. I was giving the guy too much credit. We're just stacking on all this shit.
I know. Yeah,
Poor guy.
Having said that, one of the things you don't talk about is when you do that reinstatement, a good portion of that goes to principal.
Well, yes. And the second thing is, by Mike, I just made a joke about the guy. I said, poor guy. But the fact is, if this house got foreclosed on, this guy's screwed up for 3 to 7 years, probably the latter. Yeah. And here comes Mike. Talk about a guide. Talk about a guide during a time when the market's changing so fast and they need a guide. So for the viewer to know how fast can you learn this, so that you can reach your hand out and be the guide for buyers and sellers. Because the more people you bring value to, that's how you create wealth. Fact. It's just been done since the 1600s in creative finance.
Yep.
All right. What else did I forget? Because I dropped the ball on that one.
I think that and couple grand in closing costs, right? So probably 116. I
think this is a sweet deal. So just know this, this was not done for you guys to say, got it, I understand how to do these deals now. Not at all. These are all meant to say to you, look what's going on in the creative space and don't stop worrying about the market changing. There's one constant in real estate. The market's going to keep changing. What you want to do is, like Mike has done, is get good at structuring deals in all markets. You'll have a blast. My wife, Kim, asks me all the time, like, if rates go up or a political announcement comes up, she'll say, how does that affect you guys? I said, it's awesome. Whenever there's chaos or pivoting, people panic, and that's where we can come in and fix it. So that's awesome. Mike, congrats on another light 6-figure deal from a 6-figure purchase. Kind of crazy.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Congrats, my man.
Thank you.
Everybody, make it a great week. Thanks for joining us for another Deal Structure Sunday. Hope to see you at one of our upcoming events. Go to smartrealestatecoach.com/events. If you don't have at least my book, I should have said this many times throughout. If you're new to this, grab my book. It's an Amazon bestseller. I don't want you to go to Amazon and buy it. I want to ship it to you for free. I'm talking shipping costs too. Just go to wickedsmartbooks.com/free. We'll get that out to you. And we want you to get into this for free. We want you to look at deals for free. We want you to come weekly for free so that you have a support mechanism. Mike, thanks again, buddy.
Appreciate you.